Today, we're going to learn a couple of ways to gather statistics using FastStats, InfoSparks, and Flexmls. So first, I'm going to start out with showing you how to access FastStats and explaining that a little bit. So first, you can go to your member dashboard at ccimls.com. When you log in, you're going to look underneath Realtor Tools, and you can click on this Market Data button. This will bring you directly to the FastStats page. Another way of accessing it is by going to our website, ccIAOR.com. When you're on here, you're going to hover over MLS and click on Cape Cod and Islands MLS. Once you're at that page, you're going to scroll down just a little bit until you see FastStats, and you'll click on Learn More. Scroll to the bottom and click on Access FastStats, which will bring you to that same page. So once we're on the Fast Stats, you have different report options available. You have local market updates. You can choose your area. You can either do Barnstable County as a whole or all the towns separately in Barnstable County. You also have monthly indicators as well as annual reports. Now, all of these reports are available to you around the 10th of the month. So, for example, it's January, so the December FastStats reports came out on around January 10th. So that's how that works. It for the previous month, it comes out around the 10th of the month. That's just to give enough time to make sure all the listings that needed to be closed out were closed out, etc. So let's go through a couple of these just to show you what it looks like. So you can select your area. You can select the time period that you're looking for. I'm just going to select the most recent one, and then you're going to click on View Report. Once you click on this View Report, you'll notice you have access to just single family properties and condo properties. So this is what FastStats has available, residential single family, residential condos. I'm just going to point out the bottom here. You have a couple graphs which show median sales price for that separate single family versus condo. And up at the top here, you can look at different key metrics or data points available to you. You have the ability to see that month you have selected for the current year as well as the previous year. And this column here shows you either the percentage increase or decrease between these 2 years. Then you can also view year-to-date numbers as well with the same. You're looking at the current year versus last year, and you can see the percent differences as well. So that is the local market updates report. Then we also have the monthly indicators report, which is essentially just giving you more data points that you can look at, like close, median, but again, just for single family and condo listings. And then finally, we have our annual reports, which come out annually. So they do come out around January 10th of the month. Sometimes it could be the 9th, sometimes it could be the 12th, but it's right around that date. So when we do select a year and then click on the report, it's going to essentially show you new listings for the previous 5 years. And then you can also see it broken down by towns of Barnstable County as well. And just remember, you're looking at just single family and condos on this. So again, just to quickly show you, if you want to access FastStats, you can either go to ccIAOR.com. On here, you can also search for FastStats, or you can go to your member dashboard and simply click on Market Data, which is under the Realtor Tools. All right, so that's FastStats. So then we're going to move on to InfoSparks. So to access InfoSparks, you're going to log into your member dashboard again. And you're going to click on the option you have for Market Stats, which is under your CCI MLS tools. So market stats are once you click on market stats, it will bring you to InfoSparks. And just know InfoSparks is still just residential single family and residential condo data. So if you're looking for a different property type, Flexmls will be your way to go, which I'll show you in a little bit. Once you're on InfoSparks, the first thing I like to point out is this user manual and FAQs. They have a lot of information on this page, a lot of details and explanations about what some of the data points mean. So when I scroll down here, you can come down to metrics. If you're confused by what any of the data points means, you can come to metrics and it gives you an explanation of or a definition of that metric. So I'm going to move back to InfoSparks here. So essentially, you're just going to start at the top of the screen. It does default to Barnstable County, but if you use this drop down, you can come in here and I highly recommend using these buttons at the bottom. If you're looking for towns specifically, click on town and it will list all the towns available. You can also select on county or just click on all. You can also just do entire MLS if you wanted to, or you can just stick to Barnstable County. You can add up to 4 different areas. So maybe I want to do Barnstable County and just do 3 different towns. You can definitely do that. And as you see, once I select these towns, my graph is doing adding different lines at the bottom. So by adding these 4 different metrics, you're looking at 4 different areas and comparing them as well. Just for the sake of ease of look, I'm just going to go back down to that one area. You can also make your custom areas as well by clicking on My Areas and essentially just drawing on a map to make a custom area. All right, now you can come in and select your criteria for what you would like to search. You only have these 5 data points or 6 data points, excuse me. You have your price range. If you don't like these price ranges, you can actually come up here and click on custom and customize these. Maybe you wanted 1 million and above, you can do that. Once you want one, you're just going to click on it. You'll notice that a green circle pops up next to it. And there's also plus signs on these other ones. So you could come in here and maybe you just want 350 and more. You would then just select all of those. So a couple of these have that option where you can select more than one. You can break this down between single family and condo, but if you leave it as it is, it's going to search both single family and condo together. Then you have your bedrooms. Again, this one you can maybe you want 3 or more bedrooms. You would just want to click on that plus sign and make sure both of these have that green circle. Total finished space is a lot like price range. You can customize that finished space here. And then you have miles to beach, which I do caution people about using because it's not a required field when you're adding a listing. So just make sure to note that because you may be missing out on some listings that haven't selected it because it is not a required field. If you select one of the options for waterfront property, just note that's only going to give you properties that have selected yes for waterfront. All right, so those are your criteria that you're able to select from. You also have the option of switching between a line graph and a bar graph. You also have the ability to change from a year to 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, and max. When you select the max, it's going to give you all the way back to around 2004. Now, the line graph and bar graph do have some differences here. Like you can't do a max for the bar graphs. That would just be a lot of bars on your graph. So you have 1 year, 2 years, and 3 years. And then it does default to monthly data points, so which means that if I hover over December, it's going to show me the median sales price for Barnstable County for the month of December. You also have the ability to change it to rolling 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. And if I do that, when I hover over that December again, since I have that rolling 3 months on this selection here, this is going to give you 3 months worth of median sold price data. So it show when you hover over December, it's giving you December, November, and October. Same would go if I did 6 months, that's going to include 6 months of data, and 12 months would include 12 months of data for each point. When you're looking at this Barnstable County here, it gives you the current median sales price, or if you're on new listings, give you current new listings. It depends on what metric you're on down here. But then it's going to give you a percentage, either a negative or a positive percentage. And that's just comparing the most previous month, which is right now December 2024, to that month the previous year. So what this means is that since December of 2023 had a 2.3% increase to December of 2024 in median sales price. So if we go back and look at December of 2023 median sales price, it was 689,000, whereas December of 2024 it was 705,000. That's a 2.3% increase. So that's what that number means here. If you ever need a refresher on what this means, again, that user manual and FAQs has an explanation of it, which I found super helpful. And then down at the bottom here, lastly, we have our metrics that you can choose from. And some of these do have the option to toggle between median and average, such as sales price. So this, we're defaulted to median sales price, but I can also click over to view the average sale price. Not all of them have that, but a couple of them do, like days on market has that option. But you can come in here and look at these different graphs if you want to. You can only run one of these at a time, unlike the areas where you can add four up to a time. These are just one option basis, so you'd have to rerun them if you wanted different graphs. And lastly, you can share or print these results that you have down here. If I click on share, you can either share the static or the live view. Static is exactly what you're seeing at that moment, whereas live will update every month with the latest data. You can also share to a PDF. You can share it to social media and email. You can use an embed code and add it to your website. You can also download an Excel spreadsheet or a CSV spreadsheet, which will give you the raw data. So instead of viewing a graph such as this, it will just give you the months and the numbers. All right, so that's InfoSpark. So again, you would access that by going to ccimls.com and clicking on the Market Stats option under your CCI MLS tools. Finally, we're going to jump into Flexmls. When I'm on Flexmls, there's a lot of stats available to you on here. I'm just going to point out a couple different ones. The first being how to find your own listings using quick search. So we get the question a lot, how do I find my sold listings, or how do I find my sold listing volume? You can do that by clicking on menu and going to quick search. You can change up your property type by clicking on change search template if you want. And then if you're looking for your sold data, you can click on status and change it to closed. You would want to make sure to adjust the sold date. And then you would scroll down and find where it says listing/selling member. Now, if you don't have listing/selling member on your list, you can simply just click on add a field. I usually just type in member and it will pop up listing/selling member. Once you click on that, it will add to your list of criteria. So in case you don't have it on your list, that's how you would add it. But once you do that, you would just simply type in your name here. I'm just going to type in a letter and just see what pops up. Oh, I think I have to enter in a couple. There we go. So you would start typing in your name, click on find. You would click on your name, And then if you were ever a co-listing or co-selling member, you want to make sure to check those off as well. And then once you click off your name, it would give you the amount of results that you had. And then you can either view those results by clicking on the list or the detail, and you can see those addresses for which you have sold. And then if you're looking for the total sold volume, for example, you can click on the stats tab at the right here. And it gives you a lot of data about that list, these results to the left here. So you can scroll down, come to the sold price column and look at the volume row, and you'll get your total sold price volume. Now, this doesn't have to just be the stats tab, you don't have to just use for searching for your own listings. Maybe you're looking at like a specific village or a town or an area or a neighborhood. You can always click on this stats tab and find out more statistical information about that group of listings. All right, so that's quick search and the stats tab, which stats tab comes in really handy if you're just looking at some listings. But we're going to point out two more things. One being the market trends graphs. So if you're looking for graphs in Flexmls, you would come to Menu, locate your statistics section, and click on Market Trends Graphs. You have different metrics or data points here that you can search by. It's just taking me a second to load. There we go. And you can click on this filters and essentially run a quick search. So maybe now you want to run a commercial one. You can click filter and you're coming in, you can select your status. So it's essentially running a quick search with different criteria of what you're looking for. Then you would just click on next. I'm just going to go back to what it was. And it will show you a graph with a line data. And at the bottom here, you have different options. So right now it's defaulting to that median cumulative days on the market. If maybe you didn't want cumulative and just days on market, you can check off days on market and check off median cumulative days on market. You can also do all of them at once if you wanted to, just to view that different data. And then you have your date range option down at the bottom here. Just note that these graphs only allow you to run 2 years worth of data. So if I were to change this to November of 2022 to October of 2024, oh, excuse me, I mean December of 2024, it wouldn't let me because that's running more than 2 years worth of data. So it would just default back. So it has to be two years worth of data is what you're looking for there. And then again, you can come up, maybe you're looking for number of listings or price trends. And if you want to export these, you can click on export. You can also print it or you can email it. If you click on this show/hide data table, you can also see all of these metrics at the bottom here and the raw data for that information. All right, so that's market trends graphs. The last thing we're going to go over is the summary statistics. So to access that, you're going to go to Menu, again, locate Statistics section, and click on Inventory and Production. You're going to stick to the first report here, which is Summary Statistics, and click on Run Report. Again, it's just like a quick search. You can come in and enter in your criteria if you would like. But once you're done with that, you're going to scroll to the very bottom. You can either run this for yourself, you can run this for an office, a company, or the MLS as a whole. And you can enter in the date range desired for the statistics you're looking for, and then you're going to click on Next. And what it gives you is a big table of data. So maybe you want to see how many listings sold within that time frame for the criteria that you selected. You can look at sold row and the total. So 253 sold. You can come down, look how many new listings. You can also look at maybe days on market, cumulative days on market for that sold batch of listings, median sold price, average sold price to list price percentages, which are over to the right here, and that's sold price to original list price as well. Active in range means that how many listings were active within that date range. Current active means how many from that date range are still active to this date. So it's great if you're looking for a lot of data on a lot of different data points to pull up summary statistics. All right, so those are the three statistic ways I wanted to point out, which were fast stats, InfoSparks, and several reports on FlexMLS. Should you have any questions on this training, please feel free to reach out to MLS support at cciaor.com and we'd be happy to help. Thank you.